Hello everyone. Maybe for a second we can visualize ourselves in a night with no moon. We are currently in the forest of southern India and surrounded by indigenous honey gatherers. And as they are gathering the honey, we can see how the bee has stung them all over their face, their hands. It's all swollen. And this was a scene from 2019 when I was working with communities in southern India. And this exact night, the first time they saw me as they came down from the tree gathering honey, they told me, "Taste this." I guess you can hear the tiny sound of the bees right now. So this was a sound, and they offered me the honey. As I was having the honey, the community members told me, I was looking at their face, it's all red and swollen and it's really hurting them. A community member quickly told me, and he corrected me, our relationship with honeybees is not for faint-hearted people. And it was true. For them, honey was not just food. It was their identity, it was their pride, and it was their way of living. Now I want to present these two images. So one was a cave painting from 7,500 years ago from Spain. The other one is year 2023. Indigenous communities have been having this relationship with wild honeybees across the world. It's a relationship which has endured 10,000 years. But we know very little about this relationship. Most we know is the extractive way of finding honey. So as a researcher who studies human-nature relationship, I was curious to know what goes beyond honey. So in this research, I asked, beyond honey, what does human-honeybee relationship entail? And Kartanaikan communities, who are the indigenous honey gatherers of southern India, had some wonderful insights to share. For them, human-honeybee relationship was destined by God. It's entangled destinies in their language. Honeybees and our relationship are written by gods, which means each time they would harvest honey, they would leave some portion of the hive for the bees. They didn't see this as charity, but it was a mutual agreement between two species. In the forest, community members often told me that they thought and they processed things thinking how would a honeybee react to certain situations. So thinking like a bee was some sort of a cognitive practice that the community members adapted. Every time they are in the forest, inevitably they will ask, where would the honey go? Following the direction of bees often led them to the nice patch of forest, so a safety haven, the more productive side of forest, the food and the water. They also talked about being like a bee, which means every time they are in the forest, they don't just move like a bee, but they also thought like a bee, which meant they wanted to be a person who bees will accept and value. Now, conservation often asks how we can protect nature from people. And very often, majority of our policies revolve around separating humans and nature. But in these parts of the world, in many indigenous cultures, it's not about separating humans and nature. So my research asks, what happens to both when we separate two species that co-evolve together? Thank you so much. So thinking and being like a bee, if anybody is interested in multi-species ethnographies and human-nature relations, come find me. I'm Dr. Helina Jolly. Thank you.